Hello everyone, today we're going to be working on a new piece that I did as a live stream for YouTube and Twitch, but I kind of want to talk about it, because if you guys don't remember, I had a video a while ago back in May about why there hasn't been any art contests since, 2023, and that video was early in the year and trying to figure it out. Usually things come along. But recently there was an announcement about Digimon Expo having a traveling gallery. Do I know what a traveling gallery is? No, not really. It's only up for 2 days, so it might be moving around. But there seems to be a lot going on for it, and they opened up submissions. With my goal of learning Japanese, I tried to read this as much as I could on my own, but there was a lot of difficulties because this event was announced only in Japanese, and I was having a lot of difficulties reading it. Only after the submissions were released did they release an English translation on their site directly. But this was hard, so I had to go through some friends that knew Japanese as well as using some translators just to make sure that I got the files correct. And one of the cool things and aspects of this event submission is that they added a clause to having no AI. That was one of the issues that I brought up in my past video about why there may not be as many art contests now. And switching art contests to a gallery-esque thing and giving people submission forms as well as templates might be the way that things are going to have to go in the future, not just for galleries like this one that I'm applying for, but also for art contests and other things, just to keep things away from generative models using those templates. Now, will these templates work as a way for artists to continue using these examples of contests and events? Maybe. We'll see. This is the first time I'm seeing an event using templates to do that. Now, as you can tell, I jumped from the iPad sketch up over to Procreat after I got some feedback on the way that everything should look, and I started on the line art. I like and prefer the line art tools in Clip Studio Paint now, and that's been something that's been pushing my process a lot smoother and faster for all of my pieces recently, and it makes it a lot easier for me to jump from one file to another and to move things as quickly as possible. I don't have to worry about making perfect lines all the way through all the time. I can do some erasing and some jumping from one side to the other. As we are going through the line art and the resketch and me going into the more golden ratio sketching that I'm going to have exaggerations about, you can see the whole disclaimer about that later, but the inspiration for this piece obviously was the Black War Greymon from Digimon for this event, this gallery that's going on. But throughout the time that I heard about this event on after until I started working on this piece, I was listening to K-pop Demon Hunters, Your Idol, quite a bit and seeing the music videos. And that's kind of where not only did I get the pose from in the choreography for that music video or that musical scene in the movie, but also the colors. Now you'll see me start working with the specific colors of the scene that I had at first being a little bit more reversed, but after putting in the silhouette and using the selection tool to jump from silhouette to work on the flats as quickly as possible, I started adding what I thought was the better color scheme for this, and as I got through it, I realized I needed to redo the colors. I really enjoyed this bluish background with this more violet colors just to match with what Black War Greymon's actual powers look like, but they just didn't suit well the composition, the pose, and it just didn't give the vibe that I personally was looking for in this piece. It was a little bit too, I don't know, it was the wrong composition for the colors that I was using. But I still wanted to keep those K-pop Demon Hunters, Your Idol vibes that was coming from this piece that I just could not get out of my head. I woke up in the middle of the night to do that iPad sketch, by the way. And so I switched the powers to being more of a turquoise and teal color, and then switching the background to being more magenta, pink, violet colors, and just exaggerating the rendering as much as I can with that while trying to keep it as semi-realistic that I usually do for my Digimon fully rendered pieces, because I do enjoy those. So you'll see me just redo it like you see here and just start from scratch. So as I was working, I just pushed the contrast, pushed the focal points as much as possible. I wanted to keep there being 2 to 3 focal points with this piece. So obviously the main focal point with the high contrast is the power of his Gaia force, or Dark Hades force, as well as later on you'll see me add coloring and lighting to the helmet and the eyes to make that the secondary or first focal point, depending on what you're looking at first. Now, that's kind of the general idea. Most of this is just rendering from here, but I really think that Your Idol just inspired me to do this piece and this aspect. And I had a lot of critiques about the pose, but the situation is that also in those lists of things that you weren't supposed to do, you weren't supposed to copy any pose or art from prior Toei or Bandai animation, movies, or cards. So I got a lot of critiques on TikTok and YouTube comments when I was showing off that I was doing this, about maybe I should follow like the Kamehameha from Dragon Ball Z or other poses in the TCG, and that would have broke the contract for the event or the situation, the gallery rules, and I would not have been able to get in at all. I'm trying to get in as much as I can and try to share my name and my work as much as I can through these bigger corporations, because I live in more of a rural area and it's harder to get my name out there. One of the aspects of contests that really is going to be missed from this, and so I'm trying to push this. I wanted to keep this going as much as I can in that aspect and trying to keep to the rules as to the letter as possible, but also being an artist and being creative and trying to push the bounds a little bit as much as I can. So that's why I chose this pose. That's why I have it in the way it is, just because it is pushing those aspects and trying to be a little bit more creative with the movements. It's interesting, and I know you can't copyright a pose, but they'll definitely tell if it's a Kamehameha aspect pose, and that would probably not help me out at all with getting into this event. So I just really enjoyed this piece and really enjoyed working on it. It was super fun, and I enjoyed the colors and trying to make the power have the effects like I am right now. It was really a challenge to actually get that to look the way I wanted it to. There was another aspect of this piece that I was thinking of maybe doing it where the big ball was above him, similar to how Sephiroth attacks. But other than that, this is how this piece looks. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation and me talking about the process and commentating on the event. And I will see you guys all again next time. If you liked the video, comment what you guys think or what I should work on next. And I'll see you again next time. Bye!